All right, welcome back. We're second match here for Cons of Tarkir League. We've got Damian, so not a usual in our feature matches. Only a second feature match, but he's an 8-time top eighter, so very successful and strong player. Up against Christopher G. Oompa Loompa, who has produced many memorable feature match moments. One of them just a few weeks back at the end of LCI League. So what's going on in his hand over there?
There's about three other lands, one of them being a swamp, a mountain, and then a windscarred crag. He's going to drop down the Horde Ambusher as the front side. Then remaining is going to be a Tormenting Voice, a Rakshasa Secret, a Trumpet Blast, and he just drew the Saltai Scavenger. What's Damian rocking with on the opposite side?
Yeah, we got a Abzan colors here. Well, no white yet, but he has a couple of nice rares here in hand. Necropolis Fiend, which is a 9-drop with Delve. He has a Siege Rhino. Also has Bitter Revelation, which is a four mana draw spell. Bellowing Saddle Brute, which is a 4-drop creature. He has Abzan Charm, which he can't cast yet. And he has Rakshasa Secret, which is the Mind Rot variant.
Oh.
And we see, the Horde Ambusher and the long line of 2/2s for 2 with downside in red that we used to get. But it does have morph, so there's that. But it does say whenever it blocks, you take a damage. So it basically just says attack with me. And here's a scary card coming down here on curve. And Damian does not have an answer to it. He is main decking a card called Feed the Clan, which is just a life gain spell. It says gain 5 life, but if you have a 4-power creature, gain 10 life.
Oh.
So
I'm curious what Chris gets rid of here. It looks
Yeah.
like Trumpet Blast is going to be one. And maybe it's I guess you think he wants to get rid of Saltai Scavenger. If I'm correct, the Scavenger has Delve, right? Yeah.
I think
And it looks like
that.
Chris is going to say, I'm going to get rid of my Rakshasa Secret. Like, I'm not even going to bother using it on you.
Yeah,
I think it looks like
if Damian's stuck on mana, if Damian's stuck on mana, which he is, a discard 2 is not going to be as useful.
Yeah, because Damian's going to be stuck with cards until he can cast them.
Yeah, so once Damian gets a white source, he will be able to cast Abzan Charm for the mode of exiling a creature with power 3 or greater on this demon. But until then, this demon's just gonna run roughshod here on his life total. So so Damian's representing the Sultai here. He's off to a bit of a slow start this league, 1-3. So looking to end the week on a positive note. Christopher is he's repping. He milled. I mean, he milled an Abzan card, a very good one, but when he couldn't cast in a swamp. And Chris is repping the Jeskai here. We got 3 Jeskai players tonight. They're representing all around. Here's Valley Dasher, a much maligned card, I guess, in a way. It just like you have to be so forward in your strategy to have Valley Dasher be good. But sometimes it does what you need it to do.
Swings every combat, right? So we're going to get a bit of a delve action here.
It has to attack, yes. Occasionally, if you're behind, you do the very rare second main phase Valley Dasher to block for 1 turn. So Damian's got a Bellowing Saddle Brute in his hand, which is a 4-mana 4/5. Sounds good, right? But it has the drawback of if you haven't attacked, it'll deal you 4 damage when it comes in.
Yikes. Yikes.
But he was also just dead to the flyers here.
Yeah. That makes sense. Just not even bother showing it.
So he immediately sided out his Rakshasa Secret, the Mind Rot. Brought in a Mardu Horde Chief, which is the 3-mana 2/3 with Raid. If you attacked, you get a little 1/1 along with it. He might be looking to get a little more low to the ground here.
Which is fair.
Yeah, so he's, as often happens, he's just kind of straight 3 colors, like just has, plenty of cards of all of the colors, but, him not having white there actually was pretty costly because the Abzan Charm could have got rid of the big scary demon, and then he could have played a Siege Rhino to recover a bit of the life lost there.
Yeah, Chris looks like he's pretty much also evenly split amongst all 3 colors. Maybe not in card quality in the deck, but at least for lands. It's like a 6-6-7 split with a few dual lands to kind of chip it out.
Yeah, Mardu was strong mostly because it could go under the other decks, but usually you want it to be base black white or base white red with very little amounts of the other color, maybe just for gold cards and morphs. Um, like you never want it to be straight three colors Mardu, just because you like the whole point of Mardu is you're trying to go under some of the slower decks. But I mean, look, it's week one of league. He hasn't played yet, so this is his starting pool. You know, the mana bases are going to be what they are.
Yeah, so far it looks pretty good. Looks like he might make some changes, have some cards to the side. We'll see what happens.
I mean, he got a on curve 4 mana 5/4 demon with upside on it, so no complaints from him. Like I said before, we're expecting some long drawn out games, but not quite just yet. But Christopher has provided a lot of memorable moments for us. He's no stranger to the feature matches. If a few weeks back, if you remember the match with Adam involving the bringer of the last gift.
Oh yeah.
There was one game. Actually, the game he lost was the game where there was a glyph bridge to wipe everything, and then a demon to bring everything back, and there was like 20 triggers on the stack, and it just ended up that Adam won the next turn anyway. But then the bringer of the last gift did win one of the other games, and he also had a very memorable moment back in DMU with Bog Badger comeback win out of nowhere, giving all his creatures menace. That was one of the most memorable moments from the early days of the feature matches. So he shows up, he does things that we remember. I think Damian's not wanting to remember that game though. Do we see any sideboarding going on? Since we're looks like Chris is taking at least some time here. Okay. Guess Raphael went on mute for a moment, so
I am so sorry. I just realized I hit the mute button.
yeah. I was just blabbing on about Christopher.
Oh, I heard
his moments here.
Does Damian look better this time?
Well, he doesn't have another land to play, but all of his cards are good.
Okay. I mean, Chris's hand is definitely slower with 3 more lands in hand and only 2 4-drops. So he's going to torment voice here.
Yeah, Herald of Anafen's is going to do some work though.
Yeah.
Again, another card that just by today's standards would not fly. But 1 mana 1/2, pay 3, tap it, put a counter on it, sorcery speed, and you get a 1/1. But unfortunately, Damian has drawn not a land. So once he gets his third land, he has a morph in hand, the Loxodon, the 6/7, and an Alpine Grizzly, the 4/2. But until then, he's just going to be passing the turn here. And these Highland game, very good against morphs, but very bad against 1/1 tokens. When you're playing against morphs, like you are just so happy to play a Highland game and block any morph. But
I learned to respect this guy that just makes 1/1s whenever he goes to work.
Yeah, just pay 3, tap it, make a 1/1. I mean, just great card. Damon got his land here, but he's not really affecting the board the way you want to. Like a 4/2 is just matching him so poorly here. You know what? Chris says, you know what? I got my 1/1. I'm happy. I'll cash it in here. And this is going to grow this Swarm of Bloodflies by 2. So a Swarm of Bloodflies, again, another very slow card on its face, but as soon as, a trade happens in combat, you have got more than your money's worth here with, 5 mana 2/2 flyer, obviously not where you want to be, but 2 creatures died, 2 counters. It counts creatures on both sides, so.
Yeah, it definitely gets out of hand. I wonder if Chris even going to bother blocking here. You got to assume that Damian's up to something,
yeah,
right?
he has a Murderous Cut. That's his that's his play here. So the Murderous Cut, the Highland game going in the graveyard will facilitate the Murderous Cut being castable.
I don't think you're supposed to block here. Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it, Chris.
I don't see a reason for it. He's at 20 and he has a 4/4 flyer.
Yeah, I think normally most players would you would just take the 2 damage, right? Because your opponent's only swinging if they got something up their sleeves, or if they're like an aggro deck and need to keep it kind of competitive to kind of steal a game away. But you see
there's no Lord One coming anytime soon for Damian. I mean, I don't know. I don't. He doesn't. I don't know if he has even. But even if he did, like with the mana he has, there's not that much. I mean, this is just about like the worst exchange for Damian. It's like a pretty big 2-for-1. But I mean, that blood flies is going to kill him. So
Yeah, it definitely does slow down the bleeding.
when you're as behind as he is, you have to try things, and this is him trying it. I mean, like I said, it will turn on the murderous cut because it will give him, a total of 5 resources that you need for it. The 3 mana and 2 cards in the graveyard. He did draw a tap land for turn, which will allow him to play a 4-drop next turn. But in the meantime, he's still going to be taking tons of flying damage.
Interesting. Huh. Okay. I guess maybe Chris thought it might be something else. I don't know if there's like a raid card that has like a really good ability or something. I'm not sure.
There's not that many raid cards in black. There's a couple though. The main one at common was the 2 mana 2/1 that makes your opponent discard a card if you attacked. Ah, here's the Valley Dasher. So he's going down to 11 here. Damon's going to be hard pressed to find enough to keep him alive. So you could play a 3/3 here, but a bunch of damage still gets through. And if Chris has a removal, then this game is basically over.
Sadly, not. I mean, granted,
What's the morph there?
the morph is the Rattleclaw Mystic.
Okay.
He does have the Mardu Heart Piercer in hand, along with the Ruthless Ripper.
Okay. I mean,
The Jeskai student's there, but I don't really think he cares too much.
so that's the Ruthless Ripper. Which does he have another black card in hand? No. Huh?
No, it's just Jeskai student.
I mean, Mardu Heart Piercer just kill off the creature, and now Damian's left with basically nothing to do here.
Yeah.
So, we see another couple of quick games here. Just Chris his mana worked out. Damian's mana didn't work out, and we see the game end in a bit quicker manner than we thought. But congratulations to Chris taking it home for the Jeskai, and we'll be back a little bit with our final match of the evening.